Solve the equation 2 times x to the 2/3 minus 13 equals 37. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add 13 to both sides. And that's going to leave 2x to the 2/3 equals 50. Okay, now what I'm doing here is I'm getting the variable by itself, and it's the variable to a rational power. But I can apply the reciprocal rational power and solve for the variable eventually. For right now, divide by 2, x to the 2/3 equals 50 divided by 2, which is 25. Okay, from here, there are two different ways you can go. I'll work both of them out. One way is you could split up this rational exponent, convert it into radical exponent notation. That would look like this. It would be the cube root of x squared equals 25. Okay, that's the same thing as x to the 2/3 power. And then what you do is you would get rid of this cube root by cubing both sides, or raising both sides to the third power. So x squared would be 25 to the third. And that would be a really big number. And then you would take the square root of both sides. So x would equal plus or minus square root of 25 to the third. And I think I would just use a calculator to figure that out. So the square root of 25 to the third power is 125. So x would equal plus or minus 125, or positive or negative 125. Okay, so that's using a radical. Using reciprocal exponents, you raise both sides to the 3/2 power. So x would equal 25 to the 3/2 power. Also keeping in mind that when you have a 1/2 power here, or some type of an even power, that's like doing a root when you're solving, so you have to put the plus or minus. So this is going to be plus or minus 25 to the 3/2, and to simplify this easier, I like to do the root first. So this 1/2 power, that makes it a 5. So then x equals plus or minus 5 to the third power, and 5 to the third power is 125, so x equals plus or minus 125. Okay, so that's two different ways to get to the same place. Okay, now as far as checking your answer here, both a positive and negative value will work. If you enter in a 125, you cube root it for the 1/3, that gives you 5, and then you would square it to get 25. So essentially this would be 2 times 25 minus 13 equals 37. You can get this 25 by applying the 2/3 power to either positive 125 or negative 125. At any rate, both solutions work in this case.